Two sides, spiteful and determined. Chapter 5. Table legs. Wait, so then who are you? Justin asked. Are you able to translate for us? Scott asked Marcos. Marcos answered, he can speak perfect English as a matter of fact. I just didn't understand you the first time. My English isn't actually very good. My name is Gabriel Mendoza. Scott, without any hesitation, went from 0 to 100. Where is your son? And how about your daughter? Changing her number, then picking up and moving while she is still listed as the cosigner, that could be a crime too, you know. You better start calling and get one of them on the phone. Gabriel's legs began to shake and he started to dry heave. Okay, sit him down. He's too old to be under this stress. Marcos ordered. Scott followed him to the couch. Where is your son, brother? You better find him and get him here because we aren't playing around. Gabriel stuttered over his words. I don't know where any of my kids are. Dewey shook his head at Marcos. You said you had no idea who this man was, but it turns out you're related to him. Grace grabbed the picture off the wall and handed it to her mom. Beth sat down in a nearby chair. Okay, back it up a little bit. Marcos and Salia are your kids. Marcos is your nephew. Who is the other guy in this picture? Gabriel's voice mirrored crying sounds, but no tears came out. That is my oldest son, but we haven't seen him in years. Salia has always had a clean record. She's a mom of 2 and has a husband, but she goes back and forth between her house here and Mexico. Why is she always going back and forth? Beth fired back. She helps take care of our family down there who are less fortunate than us. Interesting. So when was the last time you saw Antonio? Beth interrogated. I haven't seen him for a year and I don't have any contact with him. None of us do. Right, Marcos? Marcos hesitated. Yes, that's correct. No, but you see, you guys have to lie because the jig is up. You can try to protect Antonio as much as you can, but in reality we are the ones standing inside your house that you've hidden for so long, Dash. But I don't know, Dash. I know. You listen to me, Gabriel. At the end of the day we are going to be the ones laughing and your whole family is going to be behind bars for protecting him. But Dash, Gabriel tried to speak again. Beth shouted, aiding and abetting a fugitive, does that sound familiar at all? You get on the phone and find him. Scott exclaimed. How do I do that? Gabriel cried. You do exactly what I just said. You get on the phone and find him. What number does he call you from when you talk to him? I told you I haven't talked to him for a year. Gabriel, you know how I know you're lying to me, Dash. I am not lying. You don't trust me, Dash. You're right, I don't trust you because you've been lying like hell since the moment we stepped foot in your pad. I know you talked to him because why else would you be going to such an extent to still protect him? Gabriel was quiet. Okay, while you guys figure this out, Marcos is going to take me and Grace back downstairs to look in this car. Hopefully by then Gabriel will have his story straight. Inside the blacked out car was a whole lot of nothing. One of the smartest things was to cover their tracks, at least to the best of their ability. Any tracks they tried to cover would come up eventually. Scott put his head in his palms in frustration. We are getting nowhere with this. Gabriel took out his pill bottle and reached for a little while substance. What's that he is taking? Grace pointed out. Justin grabbed his arm before he put it in his mouth. Xanax, are you kidding me, brah? Scott lifted his head. You're getting high right now in front of us. No, I have panic attacks. This is doctor prescribed. What is going on in here? Beth exclaimed. Marcos, get me my prescription receipt. Scott took the paper from Marcos's shaky hands. It looks legit to me, but I don't trust you. In the future you can pop pills when we leave. Which I think our work here is done for today. We are just going to leave this. Beth asked. Obviously we aren't getting anywhere, so we will come back tomorrow when they are ready to tell the truth. Plus we don't want to put this poor man out with being under all this stress. Beth agreed. Justin took one last look at the helpless faces inside the apartment and shut the door behind them. Scott sighed over the radio once they got back in their cars. I feel like we got nowhere but also made a lot of progress today. Over dash. The next morning. Honestly, Dewey and I should just move back in because every time we have a big case we meet here every morning. Justin laughed. Oh God, please no. Grace groaned. Dewey redirected the conversation. I see the board has filled up some more. Yes, while you kids were fast asleep, your father and I stayed up pretty late putting this all together. Scott took over. In the middle still remains Antonio, then a little outside his circle on the right is Tricky. Then in Antonio's corner we have the known family members so far, Gabriel, Marcos, and Salia. I still think if we target Tricky then Antonio will come crawling to us. On the other hand, if he has the balls to leave his long-term girlfriend who he had a child with, that makes you think he wouldn't leave his running mate to protect himself. Beth stated. True. We see though how the Mendoza men are quite close, so that gives me hope that Gabriel and or Marcos will lead us right to Antonio without even knowing it. Scott continued. Antonio's life is like a table. He is the tabletop while his family and everyone he loves are the table legs. Without the support of the legs the table will come crashing down. We just need to come up with a plan to get Antonio to turn himself in by taking out his table legs first.